My research project topic deals with natural disasters and the impacts they have on communities. The first context I focused on is the program, which in this case is protection and resiliency. By protection, I mean having cities take more preventative measures, particularly in design and planning, to reduce horizontal footprints of cities and using more permeable materials in construction. The idea of resiliency is tied into protection because if a community is less impacted by a disaster, it instantly becomes more resilient. To help my research, I asked the question, why have cities become so vulnerable to disasters? Destruction of natural landscapes and poor construction of levees and barriers are the main sources, which is something that my case study research prioritized. Social isolation due to wealth distribution has also led to poor neighborhoods being less resilient as well as more vulnerable in times of disasters. To resolve these issues, I propose implementing stricter zoning laws in cities. Stricter laws would include using more suitable materials, implementing green space in the cities, and fostering mixed-use communities, which ties into my next topic of zoning. The next context I looked into is zoning, which is a key component in my research project. A popular zoning technique that has proven effective at reducing the impact of natural disasters is mixed-use zoning. Mixed-use zoning is the breaking down of segregated and ordered land uses into one conglomerate of residential, commercial, and industrial areas. This principle of mixed use is strengthened by the fact that business and financial districts are usually the cause of severe flooding, because water has nowhere to go except in the low-lying areas, which is usually where residential communities are located. The idea of coexistence in this respect is lost because one group dominates the rest. In developed areas, obviously it is hard to change what is already there, so a possible solution is to implement intentional floodplains in areas that are either open or not used. These areas would also double as recreational amenities to make them more appealing to residents. The idea of implementing safe areas leads into my last topic, which is accessibility. The last context I focused on is accessibility. The idea of accessibility is simple. Give people that are in need or in danger a safe place to go during storms and natural disasters. My idea behind accessibility stems from my case study research that showed low and medium income residents along coastal communities are typically the most vulnerable to flooding due to several factors, including their location in respect to floodplains and simply their income. The next question I asked is how will these accessible areas be funded, who will be entitled to use these facilities, and what sort of resources will they be entitled to? First off, funds could be provided by either taxpayer money, city funds, or both, and those that would be entitled would be based on wage earnings primarily, low income being first. The types of resources that would be provided would be shelter, food, and water, pretty much the basic essentials. So to wrap up, my project goal is essentially to help communities better prepare and protect from natural disasters through resiliency, zoning, and accessibility.